Hello everyone, welcome back to the class. Today we are starting a new topic from Lexicon Ethics, that is virtues and good conduct. As I told in my previous video, this is the continuation of the previous class as I am following same topic as it is in the Lexicon book. So you can follow that in easily. So without any delay, let's start today's topic. Let us start with a very basic idea. When we say a person is good, what do we actually mean? We usually mean that the person is honest, patient, and you're respectful and helpful and reliable. These are not single actions, these are traits of character, and these traits are called virtues. Virtues are good qualities of character, while vices are bad qualities like lying, cheating, selfishness, or addiction. No one is born virtuous automatically. Virtues must be deliberately cultivated through regular practice. A good life is not one big heroic action, it is the habitual practice of good actions every day. This is why character and conduct are deeply connected. If someone has a good character, their conduct will also be consistently good. And consistent good conduct is the real test of ethics in daily life and administration. Now let us understand a very important distinction in ethics, that is morality of being versus morality of doing. Virtues belongs to the morality of being. They describe what kind of person you are on the inside, that is honest, kind, courageous. And duties and actions belong to the morality of doing, that is what you actually do in real situations. For example, helping an accident victim once is a good action, but being a person who always feels responsible towards others, that is a virtue. Ethics teaches us a simple but powerful message, that is be good and do good. And how do we become good internally? By doing good actions repeatedly. When we regularly act honestly and honesty becomes our nature, action slowly turns into habits, and habits form character. Now many students confuse duty with virtue. So let us clear this properly. Duty refers to what a person must do because of role or obligation. Virtue refers to what a person is morally. For example, a public servant following rules is doing their duty, but a public servant who follows rules fairly, patiently, and honestly every day, even when no one is watching, that reflects virtue. So virtuous person not only performs good deeds but does so consistently. There is no leave from virtues. You cannot say today I will be honest, tomorrow I will try corruption. So virtue demands continuity. Now virtues are not abstract ideas meant only for philosophy books. They have real life impact. Virtues promote the well-being of both the individual and society. An honest person earns trust. A disciplined person earns respect. A compassionate person builds strong relationships. Now imagine a society where people are truthful, fair, and responsible. Administration becomes smoother, conflicts reduce, and trust increases. On the other hand, vices like greed, dishonesty, and selfishness harm individuals and destroy social harmony. Ethics tells us clearly we always have choice. When we choose virtues, good conduct naturally follows, and that conduct becomes visible proof of our character. Now, meaning of virtue. The word virtue has deep philosophical roots. The Greek word erate means excellence. A Latin word virtus means moral excellence. So virtue is not just about avoiding bad behavior, it is about doing something excellently as a human being. A virtue is a character trait that is socially and morally valued. Virtue has two meanings. First, it is the inner quality or disposition to the right thing. Second, it is the habit of action that matches that inner quality. When inner intention and outward action match consistently, virtue is formed. Now let us connect virtues with values, another important UPSC concept. Okay, values are our core beliefs, such as what we consider important in life, like honesty, equality, compassion, or freedom. Virtues are the practical expression of those values. For example, honesty is a value. Always telling the truth, returning lost property, and refusing unfair advantages. These are virtues. Values remain theoretical unless they are practiced regularly through virtues. Societies also have shared values such as respect for law or social harmony. Individual values may differ slightly, but virtues help align personal conduct with broader social values. Now, values can be classified into different types. That is, ethical values help us judge right and wrong. That is, honesty, integrity, justice. And aesthetic values help us appreciate beauty and order. That is, cleanliness, harmony, creativity. Doctrinal values arise from ideology, religion, or politics, such as non-violence or equality. Innate values are natural and biological, like survival instinct or parental care. All these values together shape human behavior, and ethics mainly focuses on how ethical values are translated into virtues. If virtue is a good habit, then vice is a bad habit. The Latin word vitium means defect or failing. A vice is an immoral habit that harms the person and society. Lying, cheating, addiction, gambling, selfishness, all these are example of vices. Vices do not appear suddenly. They grow slowly through repeated wrong choices. For example, copying in exams may look harmless at first, but if it becomes a habit, it damages integrity permanently. Anything that goes against socially accepted virtues and moral conduct is considered as vice. Now, Plato's concept of virtue. Plato believed that a good life is like a well-balanced system. He said virtue means the proper functioning of human nature. Humans are social beings, so morality cannot be separated from society. According to Plato, virtues must be learned, practiced, and lived. Just like learning a skill, moral excellence comes through continuous practice. For Plato, the good life is nothing but a life guided by virtues. Plato identified 4 cardinal virtues, called cardinal because they act like kings supporting moral life. First one is wisdom, that is the ability to make right decisions. The courage is the strength to stand for truth. This temperance means self-control over desire, and justice means fairness and balance in behavior. All other virtues depends on these 4. Without them, moral life collapses. Plato divided human nature into 3 parts. Appetitive part represents desires and passions, and spirited parts represents the willpower and emotions, and rational parts represents the reason and thinking. Morality exists when reason controls desires and supported by willpower. A moral person is one where all 3 parts work in harmony, just like a well-governed state. Now, Plato famously said that society is the individual writ large. The same moral principles apply to individuals and society. If individuals are ethical, society becomes ethical. If individuals fails morally, social institutions collapses. Therefore, morality is both personal and social. Next, Aristotle's concept of virtue. Aristotle was the first philosopher to write a systematic book on ethics. He said, moral goodness depends not only on actions but also on motives and values guiding those actions. He clearly distinguished between intellectual virtues like knowledge and moral virtues like courage or honesty. Intelligence without morality can be dangerous. Next, doctrine of the golden mean. One of Aristotle's most famous ideas is the golden mean. He said virtue lies between 2 extremes, that is excess and deficiency. Courage lies between cowardice and recklessness, and generosity lies between miserliness and wastefulness, and self-control lies between indulgence and repression. Just like the right amount of salt makes food tasty, the right balance makes conduct virtuous. Now, Aristotle calls justice the highest virtue because it governs relations between people. Distributive justice deals with the fair distribution of wealth and honors. Remedial justice deals with correcting wrongs and ensuring fair transactions. So justice keeps society stable and ensures trust in institutions. Now, Aristotle emphasized that virtues are formed through habit. No one becomes virtuous overnight. Repeated right actions make right conduct naturally. He said ethical excellence means doing the right thing to the right person at right time for the right reason and in the right amount. That balance is true virtue. So that brings us to the end of today's class. We clearly understood virtues and good conduct along with Plato's and Aristotle's view using simple examples and real life relevance. These concepts are extremely important for general studies paper 4, especially for enriching answers with ethical depth and philosophical clarity. In the coming days, I will upload the next topic from ethics. Till then, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel.